What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Pro Perks Comm, and I don't know why there's always a huff of breath whenever I'm doing my intro. Don and Silent had a huff of breath in between my intro on the last podcast, but this is not the podcast. This is the Pro Perks Comm. We haven't done this one in absolute months. So here we are, talking about fitness. Yeah, an American and Foster Canadian talking about fitness. That's a bit weird, but yeah.
How have you been doing? Weird.
How have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been good. How have you been?
I have been absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so the topic today is fitness.
Yep, fitness. So I've seen a lot of people make a lot of New Year's resolutions, and in fact, you should have made a rant video about that, about New Year's resolutions, but you didn't.
What, do I look like Mr. You Know What I Hate?
Didn't. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we do share some physical traits, but aside from that, yeah. All right,
yeah, but I saw a lot of sorry to interrupt there, but I saw a lot of people making New Year's resolutions about getting fit, which is pretty common and cliche for pretty much the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one else really, like 10% follow through on it. The rest, or they'll get back to it next year. And
yeah, I think 10% is being a little generous.
Let's be conservative and say about 7, maybe 5%, somewhere around there. But Foster, you work out quite a lot.
Well, I work out, I guess, 2 hours a day, a little bit more than that sometimes, but it's not really a lot of physical workout. It's more cardio than anything. When I watch hockey games, that's when I'll lift weights, and I don't really like talking about lifting weights because I feel like I feel like such a pro.
You don't lift, huh? Fag.
Yeah, it's like, so I lift quite a bit, I'm lifting during the hockey games, I'm a total jock, that kind of stuff, but then you look at the weight that I lift, and it's a 10-pound girly weight, but it gets the job done. So, yeah, I work out, I don't work out the way I used to back when I was, like, playing hockey and everything, like that. When you play hockey, I guess you can't really tell by watching NHL games because those are athletes that are at peak physical condition. But when you're out of shape, playing hockey is the toughest sport in the world. Even when you're going on the ice for like 2 minutes, like thankfully I was a goaltender, so I didn't have to do a whole lot of that. You still get a good workout as a goalie, but when you're a centerman, you have to sprint down the ice back and forth, and you have to throw your weight around. It is a workout. It's one of the best workouts that you can ever go through. And I can't compete with my former self when it comes to that.
See, I watched this one podcast. Jesus Christ, I always say this. I watch this one podcast, but I do. And he's trained with MMA fighters. He does a lot of physically embracing stuff.
Do you want a name drop?
Yeah, sure. Woody's Gamertag.
Yeah.
And pretty cool guy. I like him. And he talked about how, MMA fighters, they're 7, 8 out of 10, 10 being top physical condition. I don't know about hockey players, as you say, 10 out of 10, but I wouldn't know.
I would say close to that. I'd say 8, 9 on average, 10 for the really great hockey players out there.
Yeah. So, and I always hear about them talking about whether it's MMA or baseball or in some cases even football. And they're talking about their own training. And there's just one co-host that really isn't in a healthy physical condition right now. Like he's in the negatives, in other words. Right
yeah.
Now. That being said, though, I look at everyone else working out, and it sounds so easy. Like, yeah, 10 years from now, you're going to look back on it, and you can barely remember it because none of it will matter. Really, because right now you're working out, during the summer. That's a real small part of your life, but from the outside it looks so easy just to get in shape. But whenever you actually start doing it, it gets more difficult. That's a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it depends too, because when I was playing hockey and getting in shape, it didn't feel like I was going and working out. It felt I was playing a game. I was playing a really fun, exhilarating game, and the side effect was healthiness and fitness, and that
kicking people's asses in some cases.
Well,
Just say yes. Just agree.
Do you want me to actually very quickly state one instance where that had to happen?
Sure.
So, as a goaltender, I have to deal with people who are right in my face all the time.
Hmm.
And there's this one guy who, like, I was a good goaltender, and this guy knew that, and he wanted to get me off his game because I embarrassed him the last game, like, really embarrassed him.
Hmm.
I guess I'll tell you how I embarrassed him too. He had a breakaway, and instead of, just getting in position, making the save like normal.
He was black, right? And you pushed him down. And you started beating the shit out of him.
Wow! No,
Right? Right? You're racist, right?
no, I mean he was Asian, but that wasn't part of
Oh.
it. So he's on a
Oh, man.
breakaway, which
Hmm.
if you don't know, breakaway is when you have the puck, you're the opposing team. There's no one around you, and you're just sprinting down the ice to take on the goalie.
Yeah.
So
A lot like basketball whenever you're just driving down. Yeah.
instead of just waiting to make the save, I threw my goalie stick into the corner and I charged forward, pinching my glove hand and my blocker like a giant crab. And it freaked him out, and he took the shot, and I got it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the best in the world.
Oh
Embarrassed the
my.
hell out of him. So next game, he's like right in front of me. He's got his ass in front of me, and
Hmm.
he's shouting profanity at me, and I'm just trying to see the puck because he's just trying to screen me, take my sight away. He spits on me. He spits right on my friggin' blocker. Uh,
And we don't do that. Us white guys do that.
oh,
Asians don't. Am I
no,
right? Am I right, Foster?
once you
Sorry.
spit on someone,
Hmm.
game on. Gloves are off. No matter what,
Literally.
I can't really do anything that's worse than that unless it's a crime. But
Right.
as far as stuff that's within the law, gloves are off. So he spits on me.
Hmm.
I drop my hockey stick, which is, I guess, a recurring theme, uh, and I sock him in the face with my blocker, drag him to the ground, and I start rubbing his face into the ice.
Jesus,
And
man.
I got a penalty, but
That's
he
okay.
was
That's
wearing
okay.
a
It's
cage.
only a.
He
Hey,
was
it's
wearing a
hockey.
cage mask, so he wasn't like his head wasn't exposed. He wasn't in danger of me like smacking his head on the ice. He was protected. I knew he was protected. I just really wanted to embarrass him again.
Hmm.
So
It's hockey too, so that's normal. That happens each game.
and the best part about being a goaltender is when you get a penalty,
Hmm.
you don't serve your penalty. Your teammates do. Uh, and
Oh.
my teammate who got sent to the box was actually laughing on his way to the box. He's like, "That was the greatest thing ever. Foster, keep that up." So yeah, I'm proud of it.
We
But
never hear about those kind of stories, Foster, where you took on the offense.
yeah,
Nice.
look. I'm not a guy that jumps to fighting. I'm not a guy that jumps
Yeah,
to
Foster,
violence.
as long as we've like as long as I've known you and Silence known me way longer since Halo 2,
Yeah.
I've never heard of you talk about a fight or wanting to fight or wanting to kick some guy's ass or being pissed off. I've never heard you angry, like legitimately angry.
Well, that's
You're
because you guys
generally a
have to
nice
stand
guy.
on me.
He really is. To the viewer, you will if you go over to Foster's channel or you're already there, you'll know he's a pretty laid back guy. Or in
Well,
some
not
of his
really laid
videos.
back, but
No,
not
he's laid
quite.
back. I would say laid back when it comes to like a day to day life. Am I right?
Oh no, I'm very high energy. I'm very like I'm very not really OCD, but I'm always bouncing off the walls, and I'm always kind of
ADD, man.
twitchy, and I've always got to be doing something. I'm never laid back.
I like that. All right, my bad, my bad.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah,
back to
he's lit.
fitness.
Yeah, yeah. Back to fitness. I like your story though. Yeah. So I hear a lot about the top physical condition, or like some of the MMA fighters, 7 or 8, or just high school athlete, 5 or 6 out of 10, which is average really. And it sounds so easy to get in shape. It sounds pretty cool too. But then whenever you actually are about to start, or you are starting, you're kind of lost. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what to do. Strength resistance, or what do they call it exactly? Weight resistance, cardio, aerobic stuff that requires a lot of breathing techniques.
Yeah.
That's much more difficult than just playing hockey or football or basketball, because
Well,
you're
because you're
just
not. It's not natural. It
right.
feels so counter.
Yeah, and you're just like you're. It really isn't natural. Like no species, as far as we've known, have built themselves a treadmill and then just started running 2 hours
Well,
a
it's also
day.
because no species has advanced to the point where they can live comfortably. They are all always fighting to live, and we have stopped that, and that's why we have to work out to stay in shape now.
You know what's interesting about that? And this is getting off topic, but humans have the best endurance. We can actually,
Yeah.
speed wise, not so much, but over the course of, let's say, 30 minutes, we can outrun a horse. That was one of the things they talked about.
Yeah, that was
Cheetahs,
a Vsauce video, right?
yeah, Vsauce, yeah, it was called Wise. It's the most recent, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Bottom is the middle. Your bottom is the middle,
Yeah,
and
and it's all about the butt.
yeah. So for the yeah, it is. But yeah, so that being said though, it's pretty cool to see how it's actually difficult to work out cardio wise and lose weight by just doing that since you're kind of built for endurance. So instead of grinding out a XP, which I like to say, and increasing your endurance, you're already at the top physical endurance level out of every other species. So you're just grinding further into it, which isn't getting you that far. It's like hitting level 100 on Mick MMO, and you're good. You know, you're good. You have sharpness 2 on your sword now, and you know you're good to go. But if you grind out anymore, it's just going to increase by like 2%, for example. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It's only a 2% increase from here on out.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Like
And
for cardio, it's more maintenance than getting in shape. It's more like maintaining shape than really trying to get in shape.
you know, I like that. I like that. And when it comes to weight resistance, what would you classify as weight resistance? Like,
What
mm,
as far as workouts go, like as far as
yes.
I don't know, like weight resistance is something that is pretty difficult to get into unless you have something that is kind of occupying your mind while it's going on. Because, for
That's what I do
instance,
whenever I'm working out. Sorry to cut
I
you off there, but
yeah,
I just listen to a podcast.
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say exactly that. I listen to podcasts or I watch hockey.
Yeah,
That's the way
yeah.
that I do it because it's so mind numbing when you're not preoccupied. And even listening to music helps. Like if
Hmm.
you're going to work out, bring something that will help you keep your mind off the fact that you are working out.
Yeah, because then it gets boring, and you just
Yeah,
realize, unless you're outside, and you're one of the lucky few that have an outside or a greenhouse kind of type of where it's open and it's a glass house, in other words, where you get to work out, an outdoor
yeah,
fitness center. Then you're just looking at a gray wall, really, or you're looking at the weights, or you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and you're just continuing to lift weight. It gets repetitive and it gets boring. What I want to do is see. I'm glad you said that because I didn't think about it that way. It's maintaining shape when it comes to cardio, not getting into shape. And I think when it comes to different types of people, that is, it gets real different. But um,
I
when it
should
comes to real
clarify.
different, good.
It's maintaining shape unless you're extremely out of shape, then you're getting in shape by doing
That's what
cardio.
I was. Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at because I think we know two very popular YouTubers, Boogie2988 and Wings of Redemption,
Yeah,
and they both, well, Boogie can't really work out that well. Well, he can, but he can't run on a religious schedule. But Wings can, and he's very out of shape. I think he's what, 300, 400 pounds. Yeah, a little bit below 400 now, and he uses cardio as a start because it's a low risk kind of thing. You're just running on solid ground as long as you're doing it properly, and because he gets blisters, as he says, whenever he runs, then you're actually getting forward into your level, your XP level.
yeah.
I don't know why I use that, but
Well,
the way.
there's actually, it's funny that you keep using that because there's actually an app that I have on my phone that
Mhm,
allows me, the more I run, the more I walk, the more it
mhm.
levels me up. And,
Yeah,
you can
level
see like,
85. Don't fuck with me.
well, yeah, it's kind of funny and it's not advanced. It's not like, the Xbox where you get achievements and everything, but it's something. And
Yeah.
it's cool seeing your progress like that. But speaking of the Xbox, Xbox One has this thing called Xbox Fitness, which
Hmm.
is it uses the Kinect. And nope, stop listening. Uh, well, it just launched it. It just launched it for me. So, God dang it! What? Okay, it snapped Crackle as well. To anyway, the Xbox, the machine that I use has this thing called Machine Fitness, and what it does is it uses the Kinect, and it helps you train a little bit, and a lot of it's like cardio and drills and squatting that kind of thing, but
Hmm.
it has an achievement, That is one of the coolest achievements that I've ever seen that I will never, ever get. But it's an achievement, I have it up here, called That Was My Everest. Jumped, climbed, and squatted to the height of Mount Everest. So it tracks you. It measures every time you jump, every time you do the climbing workouts, every time you do the squatting workouts. Once you've done that at 8,848 meters, you've basically climbed Mount Everest in your home, which I know it's different. I know,
Of course.
there's a lot more challenge to actually climbing a mountain than, doing it in the comfort of your own room.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's cool that they have an achievement like that. That they
Yeah.
have an achievement where you have to climb the height of Mount Everest. I love that.
That's something where they break the fourth wall a bit, and I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so it's actually, I don't know, it's kind of cool. I tried it out once, and here was what happened. Over the course of 2 hours, I was trying this out, and I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm getting in shape. This is good. I like this. And then I was like, this is kind of boring. Oh, I can watch YouTube by using the snap function on my Xbox as I work out. And I'm like, yeah, YouTube. Then I realize that if you position yourself correctly, you can sit down while doing the workouts and it still thinks you're standing. So I'm sitting there and I'm like doing the motions and everything.
Oh, man.
And then a little bit later, I just stopped that and continued to watch YouTube. Like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm just going to continue watching YouTube on the tiny little section I've cornered off here.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're grinding out. Why would people do that? That's stupid. Play the game the way it's meant to be played. It's
Well,
fitness.
it's the achievements. I was like, I don't really want to get in shape anymore. I just kind of want more achievements.
You're exploiting a fitness game.
I even was like
Stupid.
thinking, like, is there any way I can like make it think that like a mechanism is me? Like I could get a mechanism to just mime it out and get all the achievements that way while I'm sitting at like my computer watching YouTube or something. But
You know what? I find something amazing. I find younger athletes that have been training, and this is common in UFC MMA fighters, especially, or boxing especially. That's something they always train for. But whenever they train from young ages, like the age of 7, 8, all the way up to when they're 25, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I like that. Like Joe Lozon, and he's pretty common in the gaming scene when it comes to, let me see here. Of course, Woody's Gamertag and that crew, FPS Rusher, or FPS Guy, whatever you want to call them, same person. Newsflash, Mercadurka, there is Boogie. He's common in the gaming scene when it comes to the casual UFC fighters. And that being said, though, he talks a lot about his experiences when it comes to training over the podcast, and it's pretty cool whenever he's on. I like whenever he talks about UFC training because I'm trying to find out my own training or schedule really, and he talks about it and how he's been training from a very young point all the way through middle and high school. He wasn't drinking, didn't even start because he always had a fight coming up, and that's pretty cool. There's some people that are going to be bigger than you think they will, and whenever they're 25, 26, whatever. There's some people that just stand out really. Like I know one of them, and she would care to be in the U.S. Senate, and if not, then she'd be an attorney. And I know at the very minimum she's going to be a lawyer, but that's off the physical kind of thing. But still, there are some people out there, whether athletically or not, or education-wise, they're going to be big someday. And according to you, grinding out XP on the Xbox.
Well, I mean, hey, listen. So I do internet videos. I don't work out, okay? I'm not aiming to be an MMA fighter. I'm aiming to be silly in Minecraft. It's totally different standards.
Nothing wrong with it. But yeah, what would you say is a good workout schedule? It seems like you know a lot about it. I mean, I certainly know a lot about eating science because that's a big part.
I don't think you can categorize like this is a good workout schedule. This is what you have to do because everyone's different. I think whatever feels natural, and you don't want to go with whatever's comfortable. When I say natural, I mean to the point where you know that you're physically exhausted. Just go to that point. Don't push yourself further, and don't try to fall too far behind that. If you're tired at the end of a workout, you did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to get yourself tired and make sure that you do that on a consistent basis. And, I'm not the most physically in shape guy. I know that. Like I'm in all right shape. I'm in probably better shape than average, better than I used to be. Like if you look at my old videos, there's definitely been an improvement there. But it's just I just do what's comfortable and what feels natural. I
Hmm.
don't really have a strict regimen. In fact, the best workouts that I get are when I walk outside, I go for a run, and then I get lost.
That's what I was just about to say, and then you get lost, and
Because then you
the,
got to find your way home. It's an adventure, and you're like, oh man, I'm freezing, and there are drug dealers talking to me, and I'm scared. I got to go home.
I
Where's
like
my
that. This drug
mom?
dealer's talking to me,
Oh,
Mom.
I had a scary
Yeah.
encounter where a drug dealer started like approaching me and harassing me, but that's a different story for a different time.
Yep.
I
See,
was, well, actually, I'll just do a quick like
go ahead.
review of what happened. I was on run, got lost because I was following like Christmas lights and everything. I'm like, hey, that house looks cool too. And then I'm like, I'm in a bad neighborhood. And then these guys start staring at me. And then they approached me and they were like, hey, we have drugs. You should do drugs. And I'm like, no, no thanks.
Not today.
No, I mean, maybe tomorrow or something I'll come back here. You know, you're a cool guy. I'm gonna go home. But yeah, it was scary.
Mm.
And I
You never
lost
went back,
I
huh?
lost a lot of weight because one thing that is a good motivating factor in working out is fear. If you're afraid, you will sweat, and if you sweat, you lose weight.
Awesome. But what if they smell sweat? Ah.
So yeah, that's my workout routine. I get lost.
Run away from drug dealers. I like that.
Dude, if you run
So
away from a drug dealer, that you lose a lot of weight. Like if
I'm
you
sure
do
you
that on a
do.
consistent basis, like there's a side effect, of course, death, but it's you lose a lot of weight in the meantime.
I love that.
You leave
There's only
behind
one
a
side
corpse
effect.
that is in perfect shape.
I love I love that so much. Well
Yeah.
done. Well played, Foster. You, sir, won the internet once again.
Yes, I
Now,
have.
I would say that I want to see a lot because I think you guys have Gold's Gym up there. Do you in Canada?
Uh, Sounds familiar.
Gold's Gym is like the number one. It's in the top five
Oh,
still.
you
The
know what?
best
Yeah, it's
gyms.
across from the only gym I ever used, and I don't use gyms, but I did use Steve Nash Fitness World, which is like the big thing here in British Columbia because Steve Nash is a basketball player, famous basketball player who's from here,
Uh-huh.
so he's big time celebrity here, and been there.
You see, Gold's Gym is extremely expensive though. The thing about it is it's $90 a month plus like a $250 contract. So
Wow.
yeah, I know. And but then when you actually think about it, those guys are hardcore athletes. Those guys aren't just
Yeah.
staying in shape. They're not a 4 out of 10. They are 8 or above out of 10. That's what
Well,
they are.
the
They're
thing
not. They're
is,
not. No, hold on. Because it's not they now. Granted, they do have the best equipment, which means it's going to be more expensive. But they also have, a fitness bar where you can get certain supplements to help your diet. You can
are
hire
they
personal
free?
trainers. I don't know. It's a
Like with
bar.
the membership, you get a free smoothie every day or something.
I'm sure when it comes to the gym, they want to be able to, put everyone at ease. And if you're going to go to the gym, it's not going to go to the mall. It's not going to the mall where you take a bunch of cash. It's you can sign up for
Yeah,
this membership where you
that'd
get
be
it, where you just go up to the bar, order whatever you want for an extra $30 a month. Or you could just order, you can just order the drink whenever you would care for it and pay then. I'm sure they would offer something along those lines, but otherwise people would be abusing that.
yeah.
And well, see, that's what capitalism does. And we were looking into a lot of the insurance plans, not just for working out, because dude, it's fucking expensive to work out. It really is.
We're
Um,
not going to start making fun of capitalism, are we? Because I like capitalism.
I do too, but I just want to point something out. There's two things it doesn't do well: health and fitness. Whether or not fitness is healthy, like you're trying to keep your own health, or you're going out for a sport,
Hmm.
it just doesn't do well with healthy health and human needs.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I mean, that's why we have things like
an ounce of
Geneva.
prevention is worth a pound of cure. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why they're going to be the UN's trying to make it illegal to profit off of uh, medical patents. so that once someone discovers, like, hey, look, I have the cure to every disease, they can't profit off of it.
Good. See, now that's going to be difficult because there's a fuzzy line.
Yeah.
What's the difference between preventing it and treating it? That's one. It's like a vaccine versus you treating a flu. Either way, your body does have the flu in it.
Yeah.
It just needs to be activated. That's
Yep.
how it is.
We've actually been going at this a lot longer than I thought. So do you want to like recap this? Like just
Sure.
pull it all
Sure.
together.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up in a nice little bow here. All right. So working out, best things to do is occupy yourself. Try to work out in a way that's fun for you. Make it natural. And you don't necessarily need a gym membership. I mean, you can work out at a very same level as a gym without a gym. It just would be more difficult. Gyms just make it easier.
Yeah, and definitely having a schedule will help. And let me tell you something. On the same podcast we've been talking about, or I've been talking about, we watched two separate podcasts. They had this one guy, Boogie2988, and he studied a lot. He knows more than the average nutritionist,
Yeah.
or dietitian, that's the word.
Well,
Nutritionist and
things.
dietitian would know. And he says 80% of what you eat, 80% of it of fitness is what you eat. The other 20% is working out. Because at the end of the day, you can work out for 2 hours and run 3 miles. That's low compared to some people.
Yeah.
But you can do that, and you still won't work off that Big Mac.
Yeah.
You can work out for both Monday and Tuesday for 3 hours each day. Go have a Big Mac. You're set back 3+ days.
Well,
But
and
at the
it's
end
not
of the
even
day, you just got to make sure you're eating right or in moderation. You can have whatever you want. You can go to Five Guys, you can order whatever you want.
well, you can
go to
even
Burger
have
King,
a
order
really
whatever you
big
want.
meal if it's the right food.
Yeah,
Like
I know
if you
Michael
have like
Jordan,
a
for
nice
example.
chicken dinner, like a big chicken dinner, that's a perfect meal for a day of working out. Is like a good
Right.
chicken dinner with potatoes and gravy. Well, maybe not gravy, but
It depends. Yeah, it definitely depends. One thing that really helps, because I'm in biology right now, unfortunately, and that class fucking sucks. We learn a lot about what helps your muscles, what helps your body in general, and eating a steak and some sort of carbohydrate other than that, like a potato, like Foster said, that helps. It really does. Let me tell you, whenever it's a very good idea, but whenever there's a game coming up, a lot of the high school athletes around here in both the district and in the state will have something called a pasta party. I know it sounds really weird.
that sounds like a
pasta at each
shock
other.
thing on the internet. Like, hey, check out
I
the
know.
pastaparty.com.
I
Don't go
know.
there.
I know.
I don't know if
I
it's
know.
bad. Just don't
Don't
go
Google
there.
that. Don't Google it. But what it is in real life is basically they will, someone will be hosting. Usually the captain will be hosting a party.
Son of a bitch! Sorry. Sorry, I just. God dang it. So, I made a joke that got mentioned on a podcast. I'm getting freaking messages and emails about it.
Hold on, let me finish up. Where was I? Help me out, Foster. Help.
I don't know. I'm getting like flooded with
Thanks,
emails.
Foster. Oh shit, I can't remember. Hold on, give me a minute. Yeah, so whenever they host this party, it's a dinner party, and they just eat pasta, other carbohydrates with water or Crystal Light, whatever. It's a very healthy dinner party, in other words. And what pasta is it's carbohydrate, whether it's made out of wheat or not. And so yeah, that's an awesome way to get in shape when it comes to get ready to work out or go play a game like Foster said about hockey, and also affecting everyone else around you. Because I like to think about it in video game analogies, because whenever you're 400 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds overweight, you are grinding out XP to go below and get healthy.
Yeah.
Whenever you're at my age or Foster's age and you're like 50 pounds overweight, that's normal, unfortunately. That's average. You are just, you're finishing out that level. You're hitting level 5. Well done. Keep going. But when it comes to really staying in shape, because this is what we all have to do, unfortunately, because metabolism, 90% of us, maybe 75% of us, to be conservative, our metabolism ends off at the age of like 25 or so.
Yeah.
So,
I actually
working
wanted
out
to bring up
is a
how
thing.
I lost a lot of weight after I stopped playing hockey because I gained a lot of weight because I wasn't working out as much, playing a lot more video games, and I had the same diet because I
Yeah.
wasn't working out. I gained a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's not exactly the most manly thing, but dancing. I started I actually looked up internet videos. This is even before YouTube. I was looking up internet videos on how to dance and cool dance.
Jesus Christ.
I would
Whoa.
watch the Can't Touch This music video,
Uh-huh.
and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna dance like MC Hammer. And I lost a lot of weight because of it. Now, are you preoccupied by something else?
No.
Are you just trying to picture me dancing like MC Hammer? Because I don't have parachute pants, so it's not as good.
I'm just thinking about like the way you're wording it. Like, holy shit! You're like, yeah. So I used to watch dance videos, and I used to dance like MC Hammer, and I could just imagine like the most hardcore young 18, 16-year-old Foster, like just the white MC Hammer over here.
Well, he has good moves, dude.
I'm not knocking him.
But I also learned like how to moonwalk and do a lot of like Michael Jackson moves, and I learned a lot of like James Brown. I was watching a lot of James Brown. James Brown, I feel good. This is copyright music. His famous song. This is copyright. But
fucking YouTube content ID.
Yeah. So I learned how to dance. I'm self-taught and I'm quite good. Self-taught.
That's good to hear, though.
But this is actually making me want to work out right now. Just talking about it like this, because when you get in like the mode talk, stop. If you're listening to the podcast right now, like and favorite, but then go out and start exercising, because you once you get talking about it, you get motivated.
This has been studied for like 7+ years as far as I've known. In fact, back in 2005, a British study showed this. Whenever people think about getting in shape, it helps them get in shape when the time comes to really actually work out. You can watch, I think it was the Vsauce video we were just referring to.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how whenever you think about lifting weights, just imagine you curling weights right now, or maybe doing sit-ups. It's up to you on whoever you are. The same part of the brain that enacts that whenever you're actually doing the sit-ups, your brain, the part of your brain that is telling your muscles to do that, is the same part of your brain that is being activated whenever you're thinking that. So that being said, whenever you are thinking about getting in shape, that's much better than just being blank-minded, in other words, and just hoping for the best. Because really, it's all up to what you want to do. Because I just finished up the podcast PKA 116, something along those lines with Joe Lozon and Raging Korean, and he said it best. Andy said it best. You can go out there and do whatever you want. You can go out there and grind out XP. You can go out there and just get it if you want to go get it. You just got to be able to have that willpower and that choice. He's a big believer in that, he said. That is exactly true in this case. I absolutely love whenever I hear about people that if a teacher's telling me that, fuck off. You're supposed to be telling us that. When an MMA, UFC, former alcoholic, suicidal, depressed person is telling us that right there is inspirational.
Or inspirational.
Inspirational, like it's very inspirational, I would say. But yeah, it's very inspiring. I was getting which word to use there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an amazing thing, and that's just what I had to say.
All right, so go out there, get workout going, and hope you guys enjoyed this dual comm that is way longer than it was supposed to be.
That's okay, though. That's okay,
But,
Foster.
yeah, it's okay,
that's okay.
We burnt like
That's
900 calories recording this, right?
Yeah, that's okay. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Bye.